check. Make sure that this is right. Let me make sure that this is lined up correctly. And done. Whew. Now that the video is ready, I can upload and I can show it to the world. That's great. Oh, hi guys and gals. You've been standing there for quite a long time, so I'm gonna get started right away. Ladies and gentlemen, Cheeto2500, your host, and welcome back to Chitorials. What I was doing a few seconds ago is another video, aside from this, and this other video will pertain and relate to this tutorial specifically. Now, this tutorial came to me as two requests only. One is a shout out and one is an actual request. So before I get started though, I would like to apologize again for my absence. College and other family stuff taking most of my time, and it just made me lose track of it, and I just wanted to say that was very unprofessional of me to do that in the first place. So what I'm going to do here, now that I got some free time, I'm going to make up for it and use all the time that I have before, unfortunately, it happens again. So I decided to use this time productively and do as you see here. So let's get started right away. First off, shout out request though. Now, somebody messaged me on my YouTube message database, and this guy's name is Samuel White. Now, Mr. Samuel has a YouTube channel of his own. His channel is down below in the description, and I did some prior watching of some of his videos. Now, be warned though that he's very, very different, and I mean it in the nicest way possible. Okay, now give him a chance. Show him some love if you can. And he seems pretty okay to me, though. I understand what he's trying to convey. So, give him some love. Let me know what you think. So, Samuel White, the shoutouts goes to you. So, you're welcome. Okay, now the second part is the request, though. He wanted to do similar things like I do, like make gameplay videos and Let's Plays. Pretty much was half the population is doing nowadays. And for his sake though, and for his liking, I'm going to refer to him as the Juggernaut. Yes, you're probably wondering who the Juggernaut is. Of course, I will also leave his Gamertag below in the description, so that way you can all refer to him. He's a good guy, very good. Very good friends actually. So Juggernaut has asked me, how can I get started on my videos? So I recently ran into technology, if you guys know open broadcasting software, that I can use to allow me to explain this more easily and visually, because I know that some of you are visual learners, meaning that you learn what you watch. Okay, so let's switch over to my screen, and I'm gonna have you all get started and basically teach you a few things. So here goes. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Back on the screen here, and yes, it does look very badass, and I've modified the screen myself. So what we are going to do today is we're going to introduce you to a new program that I have loved and has been responsible for every single one of my videos. Yep, that's right. We're going to go a little behind the scenes on the work of Cheeto2500. So the first thing you need to do is to recognize what the video program I used, which is displayed here, and I'll highlight it for you. VideoPad Video Editor. Now, VideoPad has been developed by NCH Suite, or NCH Software as they call themselves, and you could download it for absolutely free for a trial, but after a few days though, they will require you to pay for the full version. But there is a trick around it though, so I'm going to show you how. So let's open up VideoPad Editor, shall we? So when you get to the screen here, you will notice that it has 4 options. You could create a new project, open an existing project, you could go to the video tutorials and getting started, and yeah, that's about it. So let's say, for example, you created a new project, right? So there's a bunch of things that you could do. It's very easy to understand. You have your home key, open, save, that sort of thing, as you can see. And if you want to be more specific, you could work with clips here. You could do sequence of new videos. If you need audio, then that's here. The export, which is, you could export it in a whole variety of ways, like portable, you could do MP3s, all that stuff. YouTube, Facebook, Flickr, whatever. Then there's the suite. You could do PhotoPath, PhotoStage. Those are just some other programs, but we'll get into that the next time. And basically, you could customize this, or you could just simply buy online. But for those of you that just want to get started with the basics, I'll recommend you stick to the home screen. Basically, it has all your basics in it. The ones that are grayed out, you're going to need a file for it first. So how to do that? Go to Add File. And, excuse me, sorry. Now, if you go here to Videos, right? And basically what I do, as I create a template. So these are some of my templates that I've worked with, Some I've downloaded, some I've worked on myself. So let's say, for example, I'm going to do, let's see. This one right here. The old usual victory phrase, as you know. So now, how do I get this video? If you guys all watch the Avermedia game capture tutorial video, I will put that down below in the description. Now, this is how you get it though. So if you don't understand what it is, watch the video again, and then when you have that knowledge, you could just come back here. So the next part is transferring, So let's say, for example, I want to take my template out of my hard drive, but I don't have the hard drive with me now, so you could just simply transfer it like so. So I'm going to show you a transfer. So let's say, for example, I want to move this animated ending, for example, to another segment. So all I have to do is hold, and where it says move to videos, just let go, and there it is. So now it's in your videos. Another way to do this is to do a step-by-step, because when you upload videos for your Avermedia, it will ask you to do the same thing. Now, instead of doing animated endings, the file, when you extract it to the hard drive, is going to look a little something like this. It'll give you a date and the time it took to make that. So, for example, this was made March 5th, 2017 at about 21:16:15, which in my time, as you look down here, is like 9:21, which is like 6 minutes after this one. So let me put this file back, the step-by-step video, and then back to templates. A little bit simple. So here we have our victory thing. So let's play it. Sorry.
Game.
Okay. Now, if you notice some choppiness, I'm really sorry. Now, when you first put down a video, it may be a little choppy at first, but after a while, though, it starts to smooth out. So let's put this thing down where it says place. So here you have your place function here. There's your track as usual. You could do a number of things with it. For example, if you right click, you can see a bunch of different options. You could do unlink from video, you could change the clip file, cut, copy, delete it if you don't want it there. You could do fade in, fade out. What that is basically the video would fade to it from black, and when fade out is, as you know, fade to black. Effects, you could do a number of things with this. Now for the sounding, which is the audio, I can do amplify, which increases it. You can do distortion, which will do all that. Echo, meaning it will do a repeat of your voice. Basically, you could do a number of things with it. I guess the only sure way to learn this is to play around with it, you know, and see what you can come up with. Okay, so let's go back to the sequence. Let's say, for example, I want to add a text. So you can go to add text, and I'm just going to put, I win. There you go. Now, it looks pretty dull, right? Now, if you don't like the text, you could highlight it as so, and then you could change it to the number of different types of fonts you would like. Let's say I would like to change it to Gaudi Stout, something like that. And then you could either bold it, you could italicize, or underline it. Now, if you own Word, though, you'll probably know what this is. You could change its colors to make it look pretty. I'm gonna do green. Green for victory. And I can enlarge it like so. Right? And this outline thing, I'll show you what it is in a second. Let's say I wanted a blue outline, right? So if you look at that, you'll notice that the outside of the letterings gets bigger and smaller. So therefore, it'll increase the beautiness of your text. So for example, let's leave it like that. That's pretty good. Okay. Shadows, you could do that. But let's not do that. I don't want to confuse you guys any further. Now for this option here, this is the alignment option. Basically, it's set to align left. Now if you want your text in the center, I recommend horizontal center, like so. Now, to really do it to the top, you could do top, vertical center, and at the bottom. Now most of the time though, descriptions are kind of like in the way. So for this particular case, let's do vertical down, right? And then we just exit out by clicking outside. So now that you have your clip, we're now going to set it, as you can see here, down there. So now that your clip has been added, you could choose to make this longer by looking at that symbol and doing it like so. I'm using a touchpad, so forgive me, I'm sorry. Now, if you cannot see your video, right, pay attention to my mouse. You can go to this plus sign to expand the track, so therefore you can see it more closely, okay? So now, let's replay it again.
Game over.
As I said before, though, the more you do this type of stuff, though, the more time it will take, though. Now, forgive me, I mean, this is a good computer, but for some reason I've been having some slight problems lately, but nothing too serious. Okay, let's get back to it, shall we? So, now we have this. It looks a bit better, right? But yet, it's missing something. That little piece of something that really says, I kicked your ass. Okay, so let's add a music, shall we? Let's see. Good thing I organized my stuff. Let's see. Ooh, who doesn't love Final Fantasy VIII? Come on now. Okay. Now, good thing is in alphabetical order. Let's see. Nope. It's there, it's there. Nope. Nope. There it is. So, another way to add the file to the sequence is by simply holding it and putting it at the bottom as highlighted here. Like so. You can choose to shorten this by doing the same thing like I did before with the text. And what this here is the track volume. Now, for people that have watched a bunch of YouTube videos where the music kind of overcrowds the gameplay, this track volume will give me the ability to lower that without overcrowding the gameplay. So for example, I could just simply do this. I could lower it down to 25% intensity, and I can now play like this.
Game over.
Now, don't be alarmed that VideoPad is giving you some crappy results, but when you export it and convert it at the end though, that's when it becomes crystal clear. So don't worry about this, okay? So when you're satisfied, right, that your results have been achieved, now all you have to do is go to this tab, the export. And you see where it says video file? You can choose that. So now this is your export screen. Now, because I have a good computer, I can simply preset this to custom, right? So my custom settings are MP4, 1920 by 1080, and most games are like 30 frames a second. I could just put it like that. Now be very, very careful. If you're playing 60 frames per second games, 30 frames will not suit you. It will show up like so. But if you can handle it, you could set it to 60 frames per second to keep it up. For constant frame rate though, basically it'll like make every frame constant so it doesn't be all jumpy and stuff. But let's put it back to 30 because, as you know, the game clip that I recorded from is 30 frames per second. Make sure it matches. And now, we just wait. Because this is a short, like 11, 12 second video, basically the export will come quick, no matter what though. So, this is how the export processes come. Obviously, the longer your video, the more time it will take to process. And it also depends on your processing speed, so be very, very careful. So, if you're out there buying a computer or something like that, ensure that processing speed is like on the top of your list, because if you want to do videos and you want to get them out quickly to an audience, then processing is the way to go. So the process is almost done, so just give it some time. Now of course that the time it takes to process may be more time than the video itself, so bear with me. But if you're doing a long video, right, then all you have to do is just leave it on for the night and you just go to sleep. Okay, so now it's complete. Let's hide this. And we are going to minimize this for a while. So I set the export to videos, right? Now, you see where it says untitled? I forgot to rename it. So let's rename it Victory for our sake. So here it is. And voila, congratulations. You have your video now, and it's now ready to be uploaded. And as you can see,
Game.
it's crystal clear, it's smooth, it looks great. Now I just want to upload to YouTube. Okay, so that's about it, everybody. Now, for this particular sake though, you could always pretend that you have my technology, and basically this is how some of this stuff works though. So play around with this program for a while and you will get the results you required. But if you're a first timer though, this may take a little bit longer for you. But if you have any more questions or concerns, just let me know, and I will be more than happy to answer any and all of your questions. Let's refer back to me, so that way we can conclude this tutorial. Wait just a second. And we're back. That was fun, wasn't it? Now, hopefully you guys kind of understood, or mostly understood, what was displayed in front of you. Now, before I wrap this up though, I'm going to give you guys a few tips on how to get started right away. So, number one and most important, always review your video. If you don't review your video, right, now when you upload it to YouTube, you're going to see that there's a bunch of mistakes, and therefore you're going to have to take it down to re-upload it again though. So that's kind of like the biggest boo-boo you could ever do, okay? So make sure you review it first before you upload it, so that way you could avoid any first-time mistakes later on. Secondly though, make sure that your videos are straight to the point. You know, make sure that the video understands its purpose or illustrates it. So like that victory video for example, it illustrates that I've won the game, that I've kicked somebody's ass or something like that, right? So basically that's the conveying meaning. Number 3, I believe, is to never ever, right? To never upload a video that's other than its own. Because if you do, right, then your audience is going to say, what is this? Basically, you're going to be hated right away because they felt deceived. You fooled them. So that's about it though. So for the first timers though, and I'm gonna give you one last tip though, this is for first timers only, right? For the first timers upload a video, I would recommend you keep your videos simple, right? Do a little gameplay, you could do a little music if you want, but if you do that video like I did, like I just put that clip, you could just simply upload that clip just like that and say this is my first video, and basically you could put in some more details later. However though, if you are an experienced video editor, right, then you can make your first video a little bit like mine, maybe better, but who knows. So Jug, I hope that this answers all of your questions about it, or maybe at least some of them. But since that you have been friends with me for quite a long time though, you could just simply, you know, refer to me, you know, for more questions privately if you need to. And Samuel White though, I haven't forgot about you though. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the audience will understand though and would look at your videos with an open mind like I did. So you're welcome. Alright guys, that's about it for the day, and this has been Cheetah2500. I hope to see you all pretty soon, and hopefully I should do this more often. So stay tuned everyone.